So what are the goals or the contents of this first course in Palmistry? I kind of went a little bit over the generals when we were going through the goals of the course, but just to give you an idea, we normally cover about 10 different modules, 11 with the bonus or latest module. And we're going to be covering on module 1, we're going to cover about the basic, what is called the basic modifiers, the attributes that make each hand unique. For example, we're going to cover things such as texture and flexibility, consistency, coloring, and size of the hand. And then we're going to start covering the fingers, things that are particular to each finger, such as the setting of the structure, how fingers are bent or twisted or leaning, and of course lengths. Are fingers smooth or knotty? We're going to talk about what the third or three whorls mean in the phalanges of the fingers. And we're going to talk about fingertip shapes and sensitivity pads on fingers. And then we're going to talk also about the thumb, which is one of the most important parts of starting your reading. So we're going to talk about the 3 parts of the thumb, size and setting, carriage. We're going to talk about a checklist on how to read the thumb. And then on part 2, parts 4 to 10, we're mostly going to cover the different mounts. Each mount has archetypal associations that is specific to the mount in the hand that we're talking about, how to judge those depending upon the different persons, how to see personality traits like lifestyle, love, sex, marriage. We're also going to talk about the different personalities and the positive and negative aspects of personalities just by looking at different hands, health and career choices that can be seen on hands, physical characteristics of the person that can be seen on the hands, and then modifiers or absence. What happens when a person doesn't have a certain part or part of the mount? For example, let's say we're talking about the mount of Mercury or the mount of Mars. Part of the mount is missing. So we're going to go through all that. And some of the mount combinations. We will finish the first module by talking of the mount of Venus and the mount combinations. Now on the second course, if you decide to continue, you will have a chance then to learn about lines, all the heart line, the headline, the lifeline, the line of Saturn, the line of Apollo, the line of Mercury, all the lines of influence and the minor lines. When I'm telling you that palmistry is a very complicated art, and I have tried to pack 40 years of information, I couldn't do it on one course, even though as much as I try, because then the course would have been extremely long, and you probably would have lost interest. So I'm trying to do this as much interactive as I can. I'm going to try to put some exercises in there and some examples that you can do on your own. And I'll recommend, the courses are, the price is going to be low, so you can learn most of this information that most people don't know. You might find some little tiny information about lines and things like that in popular culture, but this course is a serious course that goes through research, and the research that has taken almost 40 years of information. We also teach about the history. I hope that you enjoy it. So, in conclusion, by the time that you finish with the second course, you will know how to read a palm and put everything and all information together. And this could be knowledgeable to you. Alright, so let's talk about the hand and mind connection. So reading a hand is like reading a book. The book is about you, and of course you are the most interesting and important subject to know about. Obviously, if you have taken this course, it's because you want to learn more about what exactly your hand is telling you. There is only one set of hands in the whole world like yours, and that's yours, of course. And so the story that your hand tells you is about your strengths, your talents, your personality traits, your health, how you feel about yourself. It also reveals your weaknesses and the traits that you need to develop to become a well-rounded person. Your hand also reveals, and we're going to see that when we go into the examples, periods of ease and challenge over the course of your life. So gaining insight into the human nature benefits both you and others is going to save you a lot of time and energy. I think that Palmistry is really good about helping you figure it out just with that information, the knowledge to make most of your life and approach your opportunities and challenges in relationships with confidence and ease. The purpose of these courses is to teach you how to acquire this knowledge in an easy and enjoyable manner, at the same time than providing you great information, like I said, that has been researched and validated, and it is more than 40 years of information putting together. Like I said before, you're going to have about 10 modules. Right now we're on the hand and mic connections on lecture 2. We talked about the purpose of this course already. So, know thyself. These wise words were inscribed over the entrance of the ancient temple at Delhi. This advice is at the core of their religion and philosophy, and is important today as it was 3,000 years ago. Self-knowledge is crucial for getting the most out of life and living to your potential. The journey towards self-knowledge has many paths, as you might know, but each of us has to find his or her own way. Now, during this path, during life, it is important that we don't make the journey alone, and life has provided us with numerous signposts to guide us. Palmistry is one of the most accessible ones. Other time-honored paths, if you have taken over my course, might be alchemy, meditation, philosophy, psychology, or religion. But palmistry, believe it or not, is one of the earliest forms of psychology, as we will see when we go through the history of palmistry, because it allowed people to look below the surface and see the inner workings of the mind. So to know thyself is essential, but in today's complex world, to know others is equally important. This knowledge is going to help you and allow your journey through life to take place with greater harmony and success. I think that people appreciate being seen for who they are, and they value someone who understands them. When you understand others, you feel more confident in your interactions with them. You will be more successful in dealing with other people if you understand how their minds work. We already know about soft skills, right? So people often put their best foot forward when meeting for the first time. With this knowledge you gain from these courses, you are more likely to be on target when choosing an employee, a business associate, or a new friend, or a new lover. This is also true, like I said, when you're trying to choose a prospective romantic partner. So in an instant, you will know important traits about a person that might be otherwise take months or years to be revealed. Please don't start looking at their hands on the first date. So I think everyone can benefit from these courses. So I try to do these courses for those people that are curious to know themselves and others better, and also from the point of view of somebody that has studied metaphysics for a long time. Now, palmistry is a universal language, and it is a science, even though some people have relegated palmistry as a pseudoscience, pseudo meaning fake. However, the laws of palmistry hold true for all the hands in the world, and it does not matter what culture you come from. If you know how to read palms, you can have a deep understanding of people from all over the world. Many philosophers and mystics believe that life is a school in which you are learning lessons every day. Your hand is a guide in the school of life. The indications that are written in the hand are not considered a fixed fate, however, but there is no fate set in stone. So we will see that one of the things about palmistry is that it is not a science that is fixed. It can be changed. As the hand is sort of like a report card from the school of life written by your inner self. This report reflects how you're doing in many areas of your life. It tells you what inner resources you have to work with, where you seem to be heading, and where you need improvement. So one of the most fascinating things about palmistry is that the hand is capable of changing just as you're changing every day. Palmistry demonstrates that there is not fixed fate, and that we all play an essential part in creating our lives. We do this consciously and also, as we will see later on, subconsciously. However, creating our lives consciously is much better because that's the creative side. Many of the greatest spiritual masters have said that it is our thinking that has the most powerful influence on the course of our lives. As you can see, Buddha said, with our thoughts we make our own world. And Jesus said, as a man thinketh in his heart, so shall he be. Also, we know the New Age aphorism, energy follows thought. Nothing it is more powerful than our thoughts and beliefs about ourselves. As Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or whether you think you cannot, you are right. The hand is just like a mirror. As you change it, changes also reflecting those changes back to you. Knowing how to read your own palm allows you to see the progress you are making in your life. People with a spiritual inclination have referred to the palm as God's roadmap. Pure practical people have called it a map of the brain. Either way, you can choose whatever way you want to see it. But the palm is filled with valuable information. We will go through some exercises that will be sort of similar to this one, in which you will learn not only how to know the different parts of the palm, lines, mounds, and other symbols that are written in your hand. So there's definitely a hand and mind connection. We know that there's two parts of the mind, the conscious and the subconscious. But it is important to remember that they are always working simultaneously. The conscious mind is our everyday waking mind. It is the part of the mind that we use for learning, reading, thinking, gathering information, and organizing and prioritizing our daily tasks. The subconscious mind is our inner mind, and it exerts a sometimes subtle and always powerful influence. It is the source of our imagination and dreams. All habitual actions, the things we do without thinking about them, are influenced by the subconscious. It is the part of the mind that is awake even when we're sleeping. It also runs the automatic functions of the body, functions such as breathing, circulation, and metabolism. All memories are stored here, especially the ones that we don't think about how much or how many we remember subconsciously or consciously. The subconscious is also the seat of what is called intuition. The changes that occurred in the hand come from the subconscious mind. And remember, if you have taken one of my courses before, in which we talk about the subconscious mind, you will know that the subconscious mind only acts with symbols. A neurologist will tell you that there are more nerves between the hand and the brain than between any other 2 points of the nervous system. Each thought has a chemical effect or signature that goes together with it. So it follows that every thought we have affects our nervous system. So we all know this. Happy thoughts make us feel good, while anxious or fearful thoughts make us feel distress. The mind is as fast as lightning. For example, the adrenaline and stress hormones that initiate the body's fight or flight response are secreted instantly when fear takes hold of us. We all have the power to change our lives by changing our patterns of thought. We already know that. Repeated thought patterns leave their mark on the hand, as well as the brain. If you want to change the hand, the change must be authentic. You cannot fool the subconscious. The inner mind knows when a change is authentic. It may require many repetitions of thinking a new way until the new thought pattern becomes ingrained. But once the new habit becomes part of you, the hand will rapidly reflect these changes.